king suddenly acquired a strange superpower overnight. Whatever he touched instantly turned into gold. At first, he thought this was the greatest fortune of his life. With this power, he would become the richest king in the world. Filled with joy, he stood in front of the mirror and began demonstrating his power. But the king didn't realize that his reflection in the mirror had suddenly come to life. When he sensed something was wrong and looked closely at the mirror, he saw his reflection clapping loudly. As soon as the king looked at it suspiciously, the reflection immediately began mimicking his every gesture. This dispelled his suspicion. Then the king sat down at the table to eat. As soon as he touched the napkin, it turned into a thin sheet of gold. Immediately afterward, his orange juice also turned into gold coins. But the king still wasn't too worried. He didn't understand the seriousness of the problem. Ignoring the oranges, the king picked up a banana to satisfy his hunger. But the next moment, the banana also turned into thick gold coins and crumbled. Now the king understood that something terrible was happening to him. Slowly, fear began to spread in his heart. The king thought of calming himself by drinking water, but as soon as he touched the glass of water, the water also turned into gold. He thought, okay, maybe if I don't touch anything with my hands, the food will remain the same. He picked up a piece of roast chicken with a fork and brought it to his mouth, but as soon as the piece touched his lips, it too turned into gold. Furious, he tried to bite the golden chicken, but it was useless. Then, in anger, he slammed the golden chicken onto the table and angrily began touching all the other food with his hands. In no time, all the food on the table turned into gold. Finally, his anger reached such a point that he overturned the entire table. Mad with hunger, the king laughed hysterically and went back to the mirror, and he began muttering to his reflection like a madman. But this time, his reflection in the mirror had completely transformed into a golden skeleton. Seeing this, the king was terrified and fled for his life. But now his shadow had become a golden harbinger of death, chasing him and trying to drag him into hell. The king, in a panic, hid in his treasury room. Sitting there, he realized that this power to create gold was not a blessing, but a curse. He wept and pleaded with God for help, but instead of God, a dwarf demon answered him. The dwarf demon laughed, saying that the king had received this power of his own free will. The king went to the dwarf demon and begged, "Please take this power away from me. I'm willing to pay any price." With a mysterious smile, the dwarf demon snapped his fingers and took the power away. Then, he suddenly vanished. The king was stunned with joy, but then his entire palace began to crumble. All the gold disappeared into thin air. Even his clothes vanished. Now he understood. The demon had taken both his wealth and his greedy soul. He was completely broken, sitting on the ground. Then he saw a burger lying there. At first he was happy, but the next moment he was afraid again. Closing his eyes, he cautiously touched the burger. But this time, the burger didn't turn into gold. Seeing this, the king happily devoured the burger like a child. What lesson did you learn from this story? Tell us in the comments.